Good evening, ladies and gentlefolks, and welcome to Hawaii. My name is Marcus Baylor, and to my right is Ryan Eastman. How are you doing, my dude?
Doing excellent despite that flight once again. Very happy. I now have, I think, 20,000 flight miles built up thanks to this series. But,
Hey, well, at least you shared a little bit something with your best bud right over here. As of course, after that, I don't know how you're able to do this from game to game, but
well,
whew,
thankfully they added that extra travel day. I don't think the players, even with the supersonic jets, would have handled the whiplash of flying cross country, what is now for the fourth time. But here we are back in Hawaii with one more opportunity for a long flight should Hawaii defend home court. They find themselves down 3-2 here with a chance to tie the series up if they can defend home court.
yeah, that's pretty much really been the biggest question: is can they actually do it? Because the last two times we were here in Hawaii, they weren't able to get it done. So the real question is are they able to finally be able to take out that demon and finally win one at home? Because right now, all of the eyes are going to be on them with the pressure.
Well, and we can't discount them. I mean, Hawaii has also done the same to Bangor. Bangor barely got one game, game two, but they've lost twice at home now as well. This series has definitely been advantage away team for whatever reason. It's very surprising. Both teams were very good at home, but they seem to have figured each other out on the road games. It's just a question, like you said, will Hawaii be able to clamp down here? And honestly, this is the best position they could probably be in, backs against the wall. I expect a great game. Who do you see being the hero for Hawaii tonight?
Honestly, it really has to go right within the paint between Scooty Barrett and Zach Tate. Those they have been the dynamic duo throughout the entire year, and obviously in this entire series as well. They need, in order for them to really be able to take one home and be able to take this series to game seven for that one final stretch, they need a good game out of the two of them.
Yeah, and for I'm gonna go on the flip side for Bangor, the player they need to step up here and shut down Scooney and Tate. In my opinion, is Tiatera. We saw her last game giving it all, almost with a double double, just by blocks alone, but fell short there. Keep an eye on her and see how the third year player does tonight as the pressure continues to mount. This game for Bangor, they have to feel like this is their game now. They can't afford to let Hawaii build that momentum back up and get two games back to back. And heading home in that kind of situation, they might. That'd be the worst way to lose a series is watching it slip out from your paws like that.
Yeah, you're right on that regard. It's going to be very interesting to see which players do step up. I will have to say also when it comes to the Tides that I think another player we need to look at is Lance Wildfire, with the fact that he's been having a very rough series as a whole, and in order for the Tides to really kind of clinch it and get it done, you expect for Wildfire to probably look for finally getting that breakthrough and have a good game.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been necessarily terrible. He's just had so much defensive pressure pushed on him. I'd love to see the stats of how many times he's been blocked, and it's just been because I think the Kahunas as a whole have marked him as a target, and they need to shut him down. We saw it last game and the games prior. A lot of pressure is falling on Scooney and Tate to be that assist, especially when Lance drives to the paint. And we've seen them contain him so far for the most part, but it has left others open. So even if Lance does not perform well here tonight, as long as he's creating gaps in the defense for the rest of his team, I don't think he'll be that upset. And speaking of teams, I think I'm seeing them getting ready to take the court now.
Yeah, right now we get to see the Kahunas wearing the Hawaiian white, as we get to see Bangor with their Tide blue. And we are good to go as we get to see Hawaii being able to get the first rock, and Yona doing a little bit of tricks with the rock. Yona getting guarded well there by Lance. Pulls it back up into the perimeter, hands it over to Tate. Tate Dishes it over to Parrott. Barrett trying to find a way to get around Tia, but with a tough shot there as Mockingbot gets the board. Mockingbot going over the Wildfire, who's going for that three, and that is one way to get things heated for the Bun.
Yeah, hitting a three early is probably very key for him. That's one of the areas he's really struggled is his three-point shooting. But if they're going to leave him that open, he'll still take the shot even if he's not confident in it. But, ooh, on the other end, a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, Yona with a strike back as he's able to go ahead and get on the line for one more. We'll see he's able to tie this game back up 3 apiece as we get to the beginning of this first quarter. And he does so. So right now, both point guards already trying to get in a little bit of a scuffle.
Yeah, and that might be a plan. Lance likes to go for those steals, but Kadane left wide open. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, right now it just seems like Kadane with another easy opportunity within the paint. Left all alone there. I don't know what Tate or Scooney were doing at the moment.
I think there was some confusion on the switch there, and that really cost him. But Vastenhout,
ooh,
stride for stride. That's 5 points for him now. He's been kind of the quiet player for Hawaii as well, mostly just dishing out assists, but putting up points here early.
Yeah, right now we get to see Tara. He's got a very strong game 5. Pass it over to Kadane with an assist. There, and right now it just seems like it's going pound for pound in the early going as both teams is able to. So far, I don't think there really hasn't been a miss outside of the early going.
Well,
we get to see a block there.
You jinxed it. Congratulations.
Yeah, but right now, Quad is able to take advantage of that as Bangor is now up by 4, 9-5. And yeah, I'll admit at that time that was
that was you.
That was definitely me.
Can you go ahead and say Bangor having not missed a shot yet? See if that screws them up a bit. Ooh, and one-on-one with Scooney. This is tough, but he packs down. Tia's been too tough for him this series to really be explosive.
And Yona not able to get the shot right there. Right now, the looks like Hawaii is going to have to try to find a way to stop this. And Kadane with a quick dunk. They get a nice assist there once again. So Bangor kind of picking up the pace a little bit as we hit.
Picking up the pace. They're 5 for 5. That's just rolling away with it. But, ooh, Scooney.
Yeah, and Scooney finally answering back as he hits a fadeaway right there.
That was basically a three-pointer with how far back he leaned.
Yeah, right now we get to see Kadane going for a mid-range, not able to score that possession. And Yona bringing it up, hands it up, and wow, good pause there by Kadane, able to find a way to tip the pass over to him as Kadane goes for the lob there as Wildfire dunks it home.
Yeah, the Rabbit, I don't think people saw him elevating. He just kind of flies by your vision when he elevates like that. You don't see him prepping for such a jump like that, but now he's matched up against Scooney, and ooh, Scooney, don't abuse the Rabbit that much. And Tiatera, ooh, someone call for help there. I think Lance might need an ice pack after that.
Yeah, the help came in way too late on that possession on Tia. But right now, that switch was going to be all Scooney all the time as Tara hands it over to Quach. Quach, get a quick screen from Kadane. Going for a nice little pick and pop there.
Yeah, Bangor not slowing down, and honestly, Lance did a good job not falling over there against Scooney. He was probably outweighed by 100 pounds there and well over a foot of height. Normally, you just see a player get knocked over in that situation, so he at least put up some resistance.
Yeah, right now, JCK getting a quick screen. Looking out for that mid-range, not able to get it down, but Barrett tips it over to Doyle. So we get a fresh 14 for the Kahunas. It's a good offensive effort there. As Tate going for a nice little...
I call that a hook shot. That was a sky hook from that far out.
Yeah.
Only a 4-point game here. I mean, Bangor, extremely high shooting percentage, but Hawaii's not willing to let them pull away here as we see Vastenhout with the steal.
Vastenhout doing a really good job trying to keep his hands going. Has Wi-Fi his number a little bit for the entire series, and Tate trying to go for that second chance points, but not able to get it down. As Quash brings it up, passes over to Wildfire. Wildfire for a mid-ranger, and he's good. The bun is really picking it up here in this game.
Yeah, this is probably the point where he feels like he needs to step up. He's watched 2 times now Bangor lose a significant lead to Hawaii at home. JCK on the backdoor layup. It is good. Explosive quarter. Both teams on pace to break 30 in this first quarter.
Yeah, it's been really the most offensive heavy so far in this first quarter. While last game was the complete opposite, with it being a defensive juggernaut between these two. As box get a nice little finger roll as he extends the leads up to 6. It's 19-13 as we have just about hit the halfway mark in the first quarter. Doyle hands it up to Barrett, and Barrett jams it down.
Somebody needs to put a body between him and the basket, and preferably not a tiny body. Put Tiatera, you need to box him out better and not throw him the ball.
Oh. Yeah, Tiatera not having a pretty shaky start in this game. As we get to see yet another turnover and a reach-in foul by Mockenbach. That'll be his first personal as JCK goes, as it's still going to be Hawaii's ball.
And that may have just been him trying to slow the pace down, because at least now Bangor has a chance to take a quick breath and reset and not play to Hawaii's pace.
Yeah, right now Yona dishing it to Tate, and Tate with the hook shot of his own. And right now, just like that, we're only down to 2 as Bangor still leads at 19-17.
And it's been turnovers that have been bothering Bangor now, because their shooting has been mostly fine. Tate pulling down that rebound, surrounded by Bangor players.
And JCK going for 3 and making it look easy as they take the lead.
Well, when you're that open, it should be easy for him. I mean, great transitional possession there to go for 3. See how Bangor answers. They've only had 1 3 so far, and that was from Lance earlier. See if he decides to try and answer or drives in. But tipped.
And he gets blocked there by Tate, but Kadani's able to clean it up.
And that's exactly what I mean by about that help defense leaving players open. Yes, Tate was able to get a finger on it, but look at how open Kadane was. He just grabbed that offensive rebound, and no one was between him and the basket.
Yeah, there's got to be a little bit of communication to make sure that everybody is able to rotate around as Barrett try to dish it to him, but he's really getting a tough opportunity against Tia. And Tia and Scooney have been scraping and neck for neck with each other as Makabak try to go for the easy finger roll of his own against Doyle. So Bangor now up by 3, 23-20. Yona bouncing up to Barrett. Barrett with a fadeaway, and he's able to roll it in.
Yeah, he's not winning the close battle. Ooh, Tides are going to call timeout here. They have watched a little bit of a lead start to slip away, but at the same time, there's maybe them wanting to make some changes to their rotation.
Yeah, we've seen the starters being a part of the have been really playing for a majority of the first quarter. There really wasn't a lot of fouls here either.
Yeah, besides that reach-in foul, I don't think we've seen... Oh, well, sorry, that's right and correct. The first foul of the game was the second possession. That was the and one. And then that reach-in call, which has not given these players much of a chance to rest. And at the same time, I think Bangor and Hawaii both want an opportunity to make some adjustments now that they've seen how each other are playing. And perhaps even get a bench or 2 player in.
Yeah, I think it's going to be coming down into the wire. And I think really the biggest thing about this game is going to have to be that second unit for both of these teams. We have seen a little bit of a fight between the two throughout the series, but I think for right now, it just seems like that Hawaii really had to step up on the second unit side also.
Yeah, they have definitely a few players that are strong role players, but in overall depth, I think Bangor slightly edges them out, as we've seen over the past couple games where their bench has outscored Hawaii's. But in the end, it's not about who outscores who until the very last minute. And that's usually when the stars are unfastened. You're going to reach in there. Talk about fouls. There's a free one right there.
Yeah, well, it is still going to be a reach in. There's still plenty of clock left on the shot clock. As Namkaki waiting for an open fur as he passes it up to Kadane. Kadane going over to Diego. Diego heads it over to Kadane. Lots of passing going there for Bangor. Right now, Wildfire gets the screen from over, but he's not able to get it down as we get to see Hawaii bringing it up.
And we see both teams have made substitutions. Bangor and Hawaii both leaving their starting point guards in.
And right now we get to see Sophia with the rock getting a little screen. It's passes over to Barrett. Barrett goes over to Rodney. Rodney going for a tough mid-ranger. Not able to get it down, though. As Kadani is able to get the easy board. But right now, Diego passes it up to Namkaki, who gets the easy lay-in. So right now, we are seeing, once again, the Bangor's second unit doing a pretty good job so far in the early going. As Barrett hands it over to Yona. Yona is getting double teamed a little bit as we get to see Nakake gets called for the reach-in foul. And right now we get to see, I believe Yona's probably going to head out. Yes, he will, as Juniper Hill comes in. And right now we get to see a quick dish there with the and one for Alphonse.
Yeah, Gary falling asleep a bit there, not really expecting a bullet pass to the post from inbounds, and Alphonse just takes such an easy shot for him, even with the contact. Chance to actually tie it up here with this one.
Yeah, so right now we could see once again that both teams are very, very close within this first quarter. As we saw in the last game, I believe it ended in a tie as well. So right now, both teams are really fighting it out stride for stride. We'll see if Norwich is able to tie this up here with this free throw. And he does so. The game's tied, 25 apiece, with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. As Wildfire passes it over to Namkaki. Namkaki going, who brings it, passes it back, going over to Imperio, who hands it back to Wildfire. Wildfire really trying to go hard against Doyle as he tried to lay it up, but that was Scooney. Yeah, he gets called for the first personal.
Yeah, that was just all trying to outspeed Scooney. And Scooney, good footwork to stay with him, but at the very end, Lance was going to have an open lane to the basket, so the Otter forced a foul, even though Lance pretty automatic from the free throw line, so I didn't jinx him. It's a miracle.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see a quick sub in. It looks like Monge is going to go sub in for Scooney.
Yeah, not a bad decision just to bring Scooney out. He's been on the floor for a while now, up to 9 minutes. Got to watch his play time and make sure he doesn't fatigue himself too much. He could be very vital to any kind of last quarter push or defensive hold if they have a lead.
Yeah, right now we get to see Bangor able to bring it up to 2 from Lance's free throws as Sophia is trying to get around it, but Lance is getting called for the reach-in. Lots of reach-in calls now.
He probably should be subbed out. They've forced the bonus situation. That's his second already. They really can't afford for him to get a third, and he will sit.
Yeah, right now we get to see...
I believe that's Ortega coming on the floor.
Yeah, that's Ortega. Coming in for Wildfire, and right now we get to see Sophia being able to tie this up 27 apiece. So yeah, of course, as soon as I said earlier in the in the quarter that both teams have been very clean, of course they were starting to rack up these fouls. And Iverson is able to lay it in. The rookie able to take the lead ahead, 29-27. And right now, Sophia is trying to find a way around her play, and she gets an alley-oop slammer over to Rodney.
Whew.
As they tie it back up 29 apiece.
Hawaii has not had to do much from the perimeter because they've just been converting consistently from down low, especially off flashy plays like that. And Bangor's no slouch either in that regard.
Yeah, and right now Ortega is able to find his way to get back into the paint. As now they're up by 2, Hawaii. Trying to look for an answer here. They try to tie this back up as Sophia Try to look to the field. Try to pass it to Norwich. Almost got tipped there, but Norwich is able to clean it back up pretty quickly.
Yeah,
And I
once
believe
again,
they're going to probably count that as an assist for Sophia.
I don't know. I think that was actually tipped by the Bangor player. It's hard to tell. And Ortega! Ooh, too much defense there collapsed on him.
Yeah, it would have been a great shot if they were able to make it in. As Kikian steps out of bounds.
Oh, just
Very costly turnover there.
a little too fast on her part. I think lost track of where she was exactly on the floor and couldn't slow down in time. So maybe her paw even slid a little. Gotta make sure everyone cleans up after those slick spots.
And right now, as you said earlier in this game, both teams have broke the 30-point mark as Ortega trying to lay it up, no good there. As Sophia gets the rebound. Says the game is still tied 31 apiece as we get to the last minute of this first quarter. Sophia dishes over to Mons, and Mons slams it home, taking the lead.
And less than a minute left here to go. See who ends up pulling ahead here as we go into the second quarter shortly.
Yeah, right now Ortega passes it up to Iverson, and Iverson gets swatted out. That was a huge block there. I believe that was Rodney too. And Rodney, they're gonna be able to sub him out and be like, all right, dude, you gotta calm down a little bit. After that heavy swat.
Yeah, well, they will keep possession. That's the important factor here. They did not lose the possession. Just some dignity, perhaps.
Yeah, and Namkaki able to slam it down after that crazy block. So they're able to get a quick answer here as once again we're all tied up, 33 apiece. Right now, Sophia. Pass it over to Monge. Monge getting a quick screen. He's trying to find a way to get into the paint, but instead tries to pass it over to Sophia. Sophia's got to do something with it, trying to get a drive. Tough mid-range shot there, and he's not able to lead it up, but Maines gets the board. So they have a last opportunity to try and be ahead in the first quarter, and they are able to get it done. So once again, the first quarter will be tied 33 apiece.
Yeah, and a lot closer of a game offensively, in my opinion, considering I think last game it was, 20 apiece to end the first quarter? Far higher score here. Both teams really showing up. I mean, obviously some defensive highlights there as you see a bunch of blocks coming out, but more efficient scoring has been the name of the game tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting to see how both of these teams play out.
Yeah, and obviously neither side really giving an inch. Bangor looked like they might pull away there early, but Hawaii pulled it back quickly enough, and obviously their bench has continued that momentum, holding on to whatever, going stride for stride with whatever basket Bangor manages to put up.
Yeah, right now we get to see Alzanar passing over to Iverson. And now we get to see a lot of passing going on the Bangor side as we start the second quarter. And it's not able to get it down that time, but it's Katu getting fouled pretty hard that time by Kealoha. He was trying to get a second chance opportunity for Bangor, but he will still go on the line for two.
And honestly, the Tides here, obviously last game, Kahuna's had such a huge differential in free throw attempts. Might be a key hidden factor here tonight to see for who pulls away in the end.
Yeah, and right now, of course, you have to make them, as Katu wasn't able to make the first one. Sure, those finals jitters are probably still deep within him. Because I believe no matter what game it is, it's still going to be pretty high stakes no matter what. As Sophia passed over to Kealoha. Kealoha heading over to Hill. Hill hands over to Monch. Trying to get a quick screen from Kealoha. And instead goes for the mid-ranger, not able to get it down, but Kealoha got a second chance opportunity, not able to be able to convert. Those second chance points are really going to be important if they want to get ahead in this game.
Yeah, and Bangor honestly needs to do a better job boxing out. This whole series, they've kind of struggled in that regard. They focus so much on the fast break opportunity, they let Hawaii get extra chances at the bucket.
Yeah, and right now Namkaki is able to get a quick score there. You see a lot of passing there on Bangor's side as they extend the lead up to 3. Right now, so far, we get to see a quick pass over to Hill. Hill hands it over to Kealoha. Kealoha hands it over to Norwich. Norwich pass it into the paint to Monge. Monge. It looks like Iverson had a hand on it. As she was able to get the board and pass it over to Elsinore. Elsinore goes for a step back 3, hits the side of the rim. And Hill able to pick it up. Honestly, I probably would have just left it over like that. But hey, at least he'll have the ball as we get to see Hill get the and one opportunity as Juniper gets fouled.
Yeah, and you just saw that it was a 2.5 minute scoring drought for Hawaii, but now able to tie it up here with an and one opportunity. And Bangor obviously as well not scoring very much, only 3 points in the first 2 minutes on their part.
And she was able to do so as now we're all tied up 36. Katu brings it up, passes it over to Namkaki, and we get another reach and foul by Juniper. So that'll be her first of the entire of this game.
Yeah, I gotta keep an eye out. The bonus might start coming into effect for Bangor, considering they've already been fouled. I believe twice now they've been to the given a team foul. So very quickly they might find themselves in trouble.
Yeah, right now Namkaki trying to find his way into the bed, but instead goes for a tough 3 by Iverson, and obviously that was not going to go in as Norwich gets the board.
A little bit outside her range. She's not known for that. Maybe one day she'll hit it.
Yeah, and Hill wasn't able to try and take this lead for the first time since the first quarter, as we get to see a missed mid-ranger there on Bangor's side as Hill tries to take his time. Hill trying his hardest to get that layup, but she's not able to get it down as Ortega is able to get the rebound. And we had to see a quick dish to Namkaki, but he's not able to get the easy lay-in. So right now, both teams are in a little bit of a cold streak. We get to see Sunderman. I believe he got swatted there. And I believe that was Namkaki able to get his paws up as Tudor jams it down as we get the first score again the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, I mean, if the first quarter was offense, we're back to a defensive game here in the second quarter. Almost 4 minutes have elapsed and only 9 points have been scored. Make that 11 now. But still high efficiency in terms of shooting so far here tonight.
Yeah, and right now we get to see Tudor going for a fadeaway, and it was good. So right now Bangor is able to bring this lead back up to 2, 40-38. And right now we get to see Monge going over to Hill. Hill's able to get the screen from Monge as he dishes over to the paint as Norwich laying it up and in, tying it up once again. So right now this game has been tied a good large amount of times. Then we get to see Katu passing over to Namkaki. Namkaki going over to Ortega, who passes it back over to the dog. And right now we get to see a lot of passing on the perimeter. Kazu hands it over to Tudor, who hands it back over to Ricardo. Desdemona has to go for a tough 3 there, but Tudor is able to get the rebound. Right now the Big Fur trying to make his way through, and he lays it up. No good. Another opportunity, and he cleans it up. So many opportunities for Tudor there within the paint. Right now, that big body has been a really huge trouble as Kahunas have no choice but to call a timeout here.
Yeah, and you can see they're ready to start subbing in some of their players probably. I mean, this is about the time we're going to see a few starters make it back on the floor, and with how close the game is, I don't think either team can afford to let each other get a bit of an advantage in terms of talent on the floor, and we will see both teams making massive substitutions.
Yeah, and right now we do get to see a majority of the starters, as you said, back onto the floor. Right now we get to see Doyle somehow is able to make it after it goes through between a couple of defenders' paws, and he gets fouled by Randy.
Yeah, and he'll go to the line for two, but seeing I think the free throw margins start to inch towards Hawaii, at least in terms of shooting, Bangor has definitely been getting more reach-in calls, but not necessarily shooting fouls.
Yeah, and right now we get to see Doyle try to make the second one because, as you've been saying quite a few times already, it seems like the free throws are going to be very important. They're really important in every game, no matter what. You got to be able to make those easy opportunities.
I mean, it's called a charity stripe for a reason.
Yeah, right now, Doris Quach getting a nice screen there. Donnie, who passes it over to. And Tudor gets blocked there by Tate. So quick reflexes once again. And right now we get to see Basson Hill pass it over to Sunderman. Sunderman going over to Tate. Tate. Then go over to Basson Hill. Basson Hill going over to Barrett. Barrett for the long two. Not able to get it down though as Kadana gets the board. Krua going over to Wildfire. Wildfire laying it up and it's good. Now Bangor is up by 2, 44-42. Now this carry moment, we get to see Yona try to find a way to get by Wildfire, but instead passes up to Doyle, who passes it around the perimeter. As Barrett dishes over to Tate. Tate has to do something with it, and he does so by laying it up pretty easy. So right now it just seems like a pretty much an offensive onslaught as both teams keep on scoring these quick mid-rangers and lay-ins. Gadane is continuing on that stride. Both teams really not letting it lay down offensively.
Yeah, who blinks first is as I was saying, who blinks first? Tate trying to get around. Kadane steps out of bounds, and that would have been a good bucket, but just wiped away because of that costly error.
Yeah, right now we get to see Tiatera come back in for the Tide.
And JCK for the Kahunas as well.
Yeah, right now we get to see Kadane passing up to Puradores. Pura going on for the mid-range. Not able to get it down, though, so Hawaii still has an opportunity to tie this back up once again. As Doyle goes for a long two. No good that time.
Yeah, probably could have taken a few more steps in just to make it a higher percentage shot as Tia misses hers but cleans up her own miss.
Yeah, right now, Tiatera with her athleticism trying to get around her guys. Well, her furs. As we get to see Yona going for a tough teardrop, but he's not able to get it down as two defenders were on him. And right now we're going to see Doyle swat the ball away from Mockingbot as Yona is able to dish it up to JCK. JCK gets the... I was going to say and one, but he did miss it.
I was going to say flagrant. Poor basically pushing from behind to the ground. I'm surprised they didn't call a flagrant there. But he'll go to the line for two at least.
Yeah, right now we get to see JCK trying to cut his level deficit down to 2, and he does so with those 2 free throws as Bangor's lead is now down to 2, 48-46. Right now we get to see Pura going for a nice pick and pop opportunity, but unable to get it down as we get to see Barrett pass over to JCK. JCK is trying to look survey for the open third. He He passes it up to Bassenhood. Bassenhood passes it over to Doyle. Going over to Barrett. Barrett going over to Doyle. Doyle trying to shoot over. And Tate was able to clean it up. So right now, both Kadane and Tate really going toe for toe against their respective defenders. Wildfire is able to get an interesting way, but he gets the and one, so a really good advantage for him there as he gets a drive by. So there's a chance for a 3-point play to extend the lead up to 3. And he does so. So right now Hawaii is going to be able to call timeout here as they're only down by 3, 51-48, with less than 4 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, and I don't blame Hawaii calling timeout here. Once again, they are not down by really much, but they can't afford to let any kind of momentum slip. They are tired of having to come back against Bangor. Honestly, I think the best statement here tonight would be a blowout win, and to do that, they need to make a change on defense.
Yeah, right now we get to see a quick deep pass over to Doyle, who goes for a tough mid-ranger there. I think there was a little bit of a stretch of doing that, but I digress as we get to see Wildfire once again bringing it up. Trying to find a way to get it into the paint. It's Kadane. He can defend it well by Tate, and he's not able to get it down as Tate gets the board. GCK bringing it up. Making sure to pass it over to Vasenhood. Vasenhood. Get the screen as he tries to get a nice screen there by Scooney. Pass it up to Barrett. Barrett going over to Tate, and Tate trying to find a way to lay it up, and he gets it with the hook shot. Very
Zarilla just dancing down low in the post around the basket.
Yeah, he's been playing. He was doing a little bit of that. It was very close to a shot clock violation, as each possession is only allowed 24 seconds. We're going to see Tara passes over to Kadane. Lots of passing over for the Tides. Wildfire getting blocked there by Tate.
Oh, bad matchup. The switch was not on the right one, and there was no room for Lance to get any kind of separation.
Yeah, right now we get to see Pura bringing it up as Banger was finding a way to avoid that little disaster for a fast break. It's Pura getting carded heavily by JCK. He hands it over to Tara. Tara going over to Wildfire, and Wildfire going for a nice alley-oop lay-in. Let's see Tara awfully quiet a little bit in the early going of this game as she's able to score a second basket.
Yeah, definitely quiet compared to how she's been the last couple of games in this series. But block there from her is good.
Yeah, as soon as we say that she was having a little bit quiet, here she goes with these defensive onslaughts. She gets another block there. It's Wildfire. Hands it over to Mockenbox. Mockenbox going for a long 2, and it's good. And right now, Yona hands it up to Doyle. Doyle going over to Barrett. Barrett going for a mid-ranger, and he rattles it in. Now Tara passes it over to Kadane, who slams it down.
Yeah, the crowd's just been silent the last couple minutes. Even though it's not that far of a game, Bangor getting flashy here.
Yeah, right now they need to find a way to get these defensive stops here as Yona gets swatted by Tia, and Tia is just clapping, smiling, that big old grin, as she knows that she's really had these players' number, it seems, with how she has been playing on the defensive side.
Yeah, but even then we've seen it not matter in the end as despite her best efforts the other night, fell in Game 5. But here we are, shot clock winding down, only 40 seconds left or less now in the possession, and assuming Bangor doesn't pull off a quick shot here, the Tides will let Hawaii have the last possession, but that quick shot does leave a second or two available. Not really a good opportunity for a good shot, but Hawaii could still burn the clock down here.
Yeah, right now we do get to see Sophia getting guarded pretty heavily there by Lance. Sophia trying to find a way to get down to the paint. Pass over to Barrett. Barrett with a tough shot, but it gets blocked there by Tia. And right now, Diego going for a long three, and it almost made it in that time. But it'll end up being no good there as the Tides lead the first half 57-52.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, that was probably the best shot they could have taken in that moment. It was a long three, but it was within his range, honestly. It wasn't a half-court heave like we normally see. But we will take a look at the statistics for both teams as we go into the second half. Like you said, Bangor up by 5, and I think they've started to kind of pull away in terms of field goal percentage. Hawaii needs to get a bit smarter with their possessions, and if they want to close this gap here. And I think one of the other things the fans need to do is get back into this game, let their home players hear them cheer and get them energized again. They can't let Bangor shut them down like they have. But we will take a peek now at the box scores. Starting with Hawaii, Scooney Barrett already up to 10 points, 5 for 11, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Baston Hoot, 5 points, 4 assists, and a steal, 2 for 5 from the field. Doyle's really struggled here tonight, 0 for 5, 2 points, 2 assists, and a steal. His only points coming from the free throw line. And Zach Tate showing up once again, 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 blocks. All over the place on defense and offense. JCK, 7 points, 2 for 3, 1 3-pointer, and some free throws to add into the mix. Norwich, also 7 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist coming off the bench and scoring some buckets. Juniper Hill, 1 for 3, 3 points, 2 rebounds, an assist. Blancmage, 2 points, a rebound. Sophia, 2 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, both of them being free throws. Jumping on the Kia Loha, 2 rebounds, missed his only shot. Sunderman made 1, missed 1. And Ronnie, 2 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, and a block. A bit of everything. Despite the 5 minutes he was on the floor, he was quite actively involved with his time. And jumping on over to Bangor, Lance Wildfire leading the way in this game, 5 for 8 with 14 points, 5 assists. Raul Kadane also stepping up here, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and a steal. Pura, a bit quiet tonight, only 4 points, but getting it done with the assists, 3 so far. Mackenbach, perfect from the floor, not heavily involved though, only 6 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. Did get a turnover and 2 fouls early. Tiatera, 4 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 5 blocks. Definitely keeping it up from the other game. Iverson, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Had 2 3-pointers that really aren't her range and missed both of them. Kalsing Namkeki, 6 points and a block, 3 for 4, coming off the bench. Leading the way for the Tides on the bench in terms of offense. Ortega, 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Diego, 2 assists. Gary, 1 assist. Between the two of them, they've missed 3 shots. Not getting it done early. And then Gaston, 5 minutes, 6 points already. One of them being a huge dunk there. 2 rebounds as well. And both of them were offensive, which led to the putbacks. And Katu, 1 point, 1 rebound. Missed his free throw, but made the other. And like that, we will go into the third quarter. Hawaii down by 5, but 24 minutes left to go in this game.
Yeah, there's still a lot of game to be played here. They need to get some stops so we get to see Wildfire. Gonna pull back, passing over to Kadane. Kadane finding a way to get around his defensive player, but he's able to pass it over to Kourodoris. And they're able to score that time as Navik got the lead up to 8 as Yona. Pass it over to Tate. Tate over to JCK. JCK trying to get a quick screen there and passes up to Tate. Tate going over to Vassenhood. Passing it back to Tate. JCK with the rock now. Has to do something with it. Going for a tough two. And he's able to get it down with the clock winding down.
Yeah, and I just talked about Pura kind of being absent here, but that first bucket for Beyond the Arc is a good way to make a statement going into the third quarter that you are not just sitting around.
Yeah, right now we get to see Randy pass it over to Tia. Tia having it over to Wildfire. Wildfire. Getting a quick screen for Kadane and a good opportunity to get that shot down, but it's no good. Doyle. Just trying to pull it up a little bit. Patting it over to Barrett. Barrett going over to Yona. Yona loses the ball there, but Doyle's able to pick it up. And right now we get some quick passes to Jason Gates trying to go for two, but it's no good. That could have ended a lot uglier there, but you know, sometimes you have to count the chains before they hatch. Is Pura trying to get a skip from Kadane. And Pura getting guarded well by JCK. Hands it over to Mockenbot. Mockenbot, lots of dishes right now. As Quatch goes for the long two. Well, long three, excuse me, but it hits the side of the rim.
Yeah,
So far.
Still down by 6 here, Hawaii. They need to kind of convert some of these points and close the gap.
Yeah, and Barrett going for the fadeaway. No good there as Kadana gets the board. Wildfire has the rock at the moment. As the Bun tried to find his way into the paint, but the defense collapsed all over him as he's able to get into the miss there. But so far, he has a pretty good game so far. 14 points and 5 or 10 as Doyle goes for a long two there. His toes was inside the line as they cut the deficit down to 4 once again. So you get to see Makamach try to find a way to get into the paint, but really tough shot there.
Yeah, I think he was looking for contact to be called, but it wasn't. And now Scooney forcing his way. Ooh, but no go on the shot.
Yeah, Tia still trying to hold her own. Even though that Scooney does have the bigger body against her, she knows how to hold her own. And we got to see a tip pass there as Doyle is able to intercept it. Doyle going for a quick step back mid-ranger, and he's able to cut this deficit down to 2.
Yeah, I don't think Bangor was expecting him to shoot there. It was a 3-on-1 fast break and not in his advantage, but he just stepped back and absolutely nailed that shot. Hawaii back within 2 here, so Bangor needs to convert if they want to keep a bit of a gap between the two of them.
Yeah, right now they're able to look for just that and one as Peridor is able to get the dish within the paint. And I believe that was
JCK.
on JCK.
It was. He got beat there in terms of speed and forced a foul, and we'll see some substitutions for both teams. I think they're going to look to restart the push in the fourth quarter with their starters, but go through the can here and almost stolen by Katu.
Yeah, right now Katsu is doing a really good job defensively. He's able to tip the pass right now, just knowing that, hey, I can get it whatever I want. Just letting you know. As right now we get to see Norwich passing it over to Tate. It's a very dangerous pass there as Tate laying it up. Cutting that deficit down to 3. So I'd imagine that Tate, we're going to look for Tate to be a good focal point of the offense for a little bit as Namkaki trying to lay it up, but it's got blocked a little bit as Katu gets it, returned to Namkaki, and right now we get to see another reach-in foul, this time for Blanca Amand, excuse me. That's his first personal. And we also see Juniper getting subbed in. And Katsu getting a screen from Kyle Song as Katsu is able to try to get the mid-ranger, not able to get it down that time. As Sunderman is bringing it up. Who hands it over to Juniper. Juniper got a lane open and she gets the easy finger roll.
stride for stride. Hawaii refuses to back down. They still find themselves on the wrong side of this game, but they're within striking distance still, and they always have been this game.
Yeah, they just need a quick stop here, and they had an opportunity to do that, but Juniper has to go for another personal on her as she's able to foul Namkaki. You can hear a little bit of the Boo Bears of the tent there, but that was a pretty easy call. And right now we get to see Namkaki making the first one as we get to see Taken subbed in now. For I believe Kealoha. And Namkaki was able to get the second one. So right now, once again, Bangor up by 3. They've been trying their hardest to try to extend this lead a little bit more, but I think the largest lead has really been 5 or 7 for the Tides.
I think it was up to 8 at one point, but it got wiped away pretty quickly by the Kahunas.
Yeah, right now Manj trying to fight his way into the paint, and he does so against Namkaki as they cut the deficit once again down to 1. With a stop here, they have a chance to take the lead. And once again, Namkaki hands it over to Puradores. Pura hands it over to Katu. Katu gets a good screen there. Right now gets a little bit of a switch that he wanted. Passes over to Pura. Pura for a 3. No good, but Tudor able to clean up the board. And once again, they're back up by 3, 67-64.
Yeah, and that was just poor boxing out on Hawaii's part. They had people there. They just let the lemur get better position on them.
Yeah, right now we get to see Juniper dishing out to Norwich. Norwich on the arc is not really his forte, and he hands it over to Hill. It's Hill. Dishes to Norwich, and Norwich laying it up pretty easy because it dumps it down to 1. That's more so his style.
Yeah, especially if Hawaii pulls the defense out to the perimeter. He's just left all alone, one-on-one down there.
And we get to see Desdemona, the rookie. Passing over to Katu. Katu hands over to Tudor. Tudor going to Namkaki. Lots of passing here for the Tides. Quach trying to find a way to drive against Juniper, but no good at that time. And right now, Cinderman hands it over to Juniper. Juniper hands it over to Blanc. Blanc taking his time as he's able to get a quick screen. Blanc had an opening, and it's good. And now the Tides have to call timeout as Hawaii is able to take the lead, 68-67.
Yeah, and that statistic there showing their field goal percentage shows why Bangor had to call timeout here. Hawaii is just on fire, way too hot, and they need to do anything in their power to cool them here, but we will see some substitutions for Hawaii and Bangor possibly. Maybe some adjustments as we see Scooney on the floor still.
Yeah, right now, Katu hands it over to Iverson. We'll see if Hawaii is able to try and continue the defensive efforts. And right now, we get to see Katu jamming it down.
Yeah, that was all off the screen from Iverson. The defense did not know what to do there in terms of switching.
Yeah, a lot of people came in very late as Katu was able to shove it down their throats. As Sophia gets blocked there. As Diego is able to get it. Right now, Diego. Passing over to Katu. Katu with the mid-ranger. Hits the side of the rim. As Barrett gets the board. In this Caramel, we get to see Sophia. Hands it over to Barrett. Hands it over to Sunderman. Barrett gets a quick screen. Sunderman dishes over to Sophia. A lot of passing along the perimeter once again as we get to see Scooney go for a quick screen. And Norwich going for a tough 3. That is definitely not a shot, but Rodney's able to clean it up.
Yeah, shot clock was winding down, though, on Norwich, and he has had no opportunity to get close enough, and at least he put it to the side that Rooney could be able to pull it down.
Yeah, and once again, Hawaii back up 70-69. It's Diego. Hands it over to Katu. Katu getting a quick screen there. And he's going for that mid-ranger, but it's not able to get it down as Norwich once again gets the board. Runs over to Sophia, who is wide open for that mid-ranger, but it's no good. Around we get to see Elsinore not able to get it there. As Scooney gets the board.
Yeah, they haven't really utilized Scooney so much in the last couple minutes, but whatever they've been doing has been working. They use him there as a screen to get Sunderman down low and blocked, but fouled as well. Chance for 2 points from the charity stripe here for Hawaii.
And I would imagine that they could possibly try and sub in Barrett for a little bit, but it doesn't seem like that to be the case, as they're able to extend it up 2-3.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to definitely start feeling some fatigue. We might see him subbed out in just a bit, but at the same time, if they need to, they'll play him 48 minutes. They can't afford to lose this game.
Yeah, right now it seems like Diego Imperio was wide open for three. Nobody was checking him.
And they tied it up with that three, but still Hawaii's possession. They can pull back ahead here.
Yeah, right now they need to be able to see if they can respond back. Because right now Sunderman heads over to Norwich. Norwich going over to Barrett. Hands back over to Sunderman. And right now they're trying to get some kind of spacing as they head over to Barrett. Barrett with a tough shot hits the side of the rim. And Elsinore tries to pass it within the paint, and he's able to do so, but it's no good.
Yeah, it was almost stolen there. Lucky to even get the shot off, but missed bucket, missed opportunity. Still tied game here with under 2 minutes left to go. And
right, we get to see Katsu with a reach-in foul, as now we get to see a couple of sub-ins on the Hawaiian side as JCK and Doyle comes in.
And Bangor also making some subs. We see Lance back on the floor, as is Tiatera, matched up against Scooney.
Yeah, right now Doyle trying to extend this lead, but is not able to get it down. So Bangor has a chance to take the lead back, as they almost lose the ball out there, as Wildfire hands it over to Tara, and Tara gets fouled and one. And that'll be Scoon's second personal.
Yeah, and Scooney's not happy with that call one bit. And just like that, go to the line for an and one, maybe substitute in some. Nope, they're not going to substitute anyone in. But that was a very sloppy possession for Bangor, considering they passed it to the back of Sophia and just barely she couldn't grab a hold of it.
Yeah, right now Tia's able to complete the three-point play as Bangor once again up by 3. And right now we get to see Bangor picking it up with the free throws now. As Barrett is blocked there by Tia once again, but is able to clean it up.
Yeah, and that's just a veteran mindset right there. Even though he got blocked, kept track of the ball, and had no confidence issues whatsoever putting it back up.
And Diego getting a quick cut there into the lane as he lays it up and in. So once again, Bangor back up by 3. As Rodney getting a quick pass over to Barrett, and Barrett making work against Tia. And you can tell that he's pretty much had just about enough of her antics within the paint as Tara.
Yeah, but now what can they do? And the shot clock's starting to wind down. And oh, Scooney almost gets there in time, but Lance with the layup.
Yeah, right now it just seems like everybody's got their eyes a little bit on Tia, as she has been a really big key in this entire series, really.
Well, I mean, for Hawaii, she's been a thorn in their side.
Yeah, and right now Barrett with a tough mid-ranger, and it goes in and out. Tara gets the board. So it looks like that the Ties will be able to get the last possession of this quarter as Imperio trying to lay it up, and he gets it and one as JCK gets his second personal of the game.
Yeah, I was about to say, with the last possession, they could, in theory, go back to a 5-point lead like they had at the end of the first half, but opportunity for 6 here, even though it will almost 10 seconds left. I'll give it to Hawaii 10 seconds. That means plenty of time for a play off of an inbound.
Yeah, and
Yes.
both teams have plenty of timeouts as well, but they're not going to use it here. As Sophia hands it over to Barrett. Barrett looking for a mid-range, and it gets blocked by Tia. What a
Yeah.
way to end the third quarter.
That was not enough movement on that play. There was plenty of time for another pass or two. I think JCK should have gotten involved on the perimeter. Basically, when the shot clock wind down like that, it was just Tia versus Scooney, and she could just time her block easily.
Yeah, I kind of wonder whether or not if Scooty's trying to prove a point against the young player, trying to say that, hey, I've been here longer.
And we will have to see how this final quarter rolls out. We could be 12 minutes away from crowning the next FBA champion, or 12 minutes away from a Game 7 being cinched.
Yeah, right now, Hawaii is trying to do everything they can to try to extend this thing, but gets blocked again by Tia. Tia is right now looking for that gold as Diego trying to lay it up, and it's no good, but he will go on the line for two as Zach Tate gets his second personal. And right now you get to see the crowd with a little bit of anxiousness as Bangor is able to extend this lead a little bit more. Now up 6.
8.
Oh, excuse me, up 8-9 now.
No, 8.
Oh, yeah, 8. I'm sorry.
I mean, Marcus, I understand it's been a while since you've played the game, but math, can you do it?
Hey, you can probably just shut your mouth a little bit as we get to see Scooney able to get the layup and one. So they could cut the deficit down to 5 as we get to see that happening as Wildfire brings it up. Really dangerous pass there as Tate's able to steal it. And right now it seems like Hawaii is able to cut the deficit down a little bit more. As Doyle, it looks like it was a little bit of a smart play. He's able to draw the foul there. As Tia is able to foul him, and Doyle misses the first one. But he makes the second, so the deficit is now down to 4. And right now, Wildfire kind of slowing the pace down just a little bit. It's got a way wide open Kadane. As I believe Doyle was on him, so that was a really easy to go by him. And once again, Bangor up by 6. And right now, Hawaii's got to see if they can get a momentum change as Barrett tries to lay it up, but once again blocked by Tia. Tia right now is just having a block parade, it seems like. As Kadane going up well against Tate, he lays it up and in, and once again, Bangor is extending this lead back up to 8. And now they have an opportunity to take this lead into double digits. Probably the first time we've actually seen it throughout this entire game, really. Let's see if they get another stop here as Barrett once again getting roughed up by Tia as she gets the steal. And Wildfire loses the ball, but he gets it back. Diego trying to find a way to get by JCK, who goes for a tough mid-ranger. No good as JCK gets the board. Are they able to try and cut down this run as Tate passes up to Doyle? Doyle going over to Barrett. Barrett trying to get it up, and he's able to lay it in against Tia.
I think they need to back away from relying on Scooney here. I mean, he's getting some of his shots to fall, but it's the same play over and over again. It's only working for so long. Ooh! Big block off the backboard. Fast break.
Tate with the block of his own, but it looks like they're not going to go for the fast break opportunity. A chance to reset a little bit. Yona with the rock. Passing up to Tate.
Keep an eye on JCK.
Tate. Oh. JCK not able to get it down as it goes in and out.
That would have been big there, and we're going to see if Lance can land one on the other end. Ooh, also missing, but foul called on Tia Terra. Third personal foul for her now.
Yeah, and she's owning it. She knows it was a little bit of a mistake on her end.
Yeah, I mean, 9 minutes left to go. Probably not going to find herself in any real trouble here, but still, they could get to the bonus pretty quickly if they're not careful. And Scooney versus Lance. Scooney,
Yeah,
stop playing with your food there, Otter.
yeah. There's no reason for Lance to be in the paint with a guy like that. As right now we get to see Tia going toe to toe with Barrett. Instead, hands it over to Wildfire. Right now the crowd's yelling for defense, knowing what's on the line as Kadane passes over to Quantz. Quantz for three. No good. Hits the back of the rim as Tate gets the board. And we might be seeing the momentum shifting a little bit slowly. And of course, as soon as I say that, once again, Tia, huge steal there.
Yeah, they thought they saw Scooney getting open, but really Tia just moved out of the way slightly, gave him what it thought was a lane. Intercepted the pass, but another chance here for Hawaii.
Yeah, Jace, right now Hawaii trying to find something, guys. We get to see a pull-up three, but it's no good. Not sure if I can agree with that one there, as we got plenty of...
He was so open, though. That's the thing. He probably 90% of the time feels like he's going to hit that shot, but no good. And now Lance being fancy with the one-footed fadeaway. Okay, Lance. Make a shot tougher than you need to.
Right now, Lance is really kind of caught on fire in this game. Really had his best performance so far throughout this entire series. It's Barrett.
They double-teamed him.
Yeah, and right now passes it up to Boston Hood. They're trying to find a way to extend this lead far within reach. And right now, Yona getting guarded well by Tia. And good defense there on her as, once again, another tough shot for Hawaii. Not able to get down as Magabat able to extend this lead. And once again, they have a chance to extend it to double digits as they're up by 9.
And like blink of an eye, again, it goes the other way. A couple missed threes would have changed his game around here, but also on the other end, a couple defensive stops would kind of be important. We're going to see another switch up, and again, Lance on Scooney. Fast and Hoot, just get it down to Scooney.
Yeah, and right now, Lance tried to steal it, but Scooney knew that was just a little bit too easy.
That's the only way they could stop him there. I mean, Lance, you saw Scooney, even though he pulled up so far from the basket, he could just lean into the shot and not have to worry about being blocked.
Yeah, right now we get to see a dish over to Tia. Tia tried to dish it into the paint to Pura, but it gets intercepted. And we got a chance for a fast break. And we get instead, Tia gets another personal. That's her 4th of this game.
Okay, starting to get a little concerned. If she gets one more in the next minute or two, we could have a problem. But good on the first JCK. I'm also surprised that wasn't called a goaltending. It was very close to being at the height of the arc. But they chose not to, instead just called the contact foul.
Yeah, right now, JCK has an opportunity to try to cut the deficit a little bit more. He's able to make the second one. So right now, Hawaii is down 93-88. They are down by 5 as we get to see Kadane. Right now, could have a chance for a long two, but instead dishes it to Pura. Pura trying to get a little cross up. Instead pulls it back, heads over to Magabat. Magabat for 3. No good. So once again, Hawaii could cut this in within one possession. As Doyle heads it over to Tate. Tate heads it over to Boston Hood. Yona dishing over to Tate. And we get to see a Tate and Kadane battle, and Kadane gets his first personal as Tate goes on the line for 2.
Yeah, at least it wasn't Tia. That's what everyone's thinking right now on the Bangor side, because at 5 minutes, that's a lot of time if she had drawn her 5th right there. But good on the first, a chance to get it to 90 here.
And he is able to do so as they're only down by 3. So with a huge stop here, they could have a chance to tie this game up 93 apiece. But of course, they got to get the stop first as Randy going up against Doyle. Gets a little bit of a double team there. But Once again, Wildfire gets double team. Monkeybots for a 3. Not able to get it down that time. Doyle with an opportunity to tie this game up or at least cut it down to 1. Hands it over to Yona. Yona getting defended hard by the Bun. Who heads it off to Doyle. And Doyle stepped. Oh, never mind. It's a
foul. It's a blocking foul. Ooh, interesting.
That's a blocking foul.
I think they said he forced him out of bounds because of the block. And missing the first free throw, though, maybe a little on edge here. Doyle needs the second one to fall. Can't waste this opportunity. But that's a key thing. Hawaii is now in the bonus. Any fouls going forward will result in a free trip to the line. And Bangor, it's a little too close for comfort for them. They're going to call timeout here.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much a good call on their end. They're trying to find a way to calm this momentum down because they do not want the momentum to entirely swing on the Hawaii side. Only down by 2. The crowd is definitely into this game once again.
Yeah, well, I mean, you consider the fact that Bangor has been forced to watch twice now a lead slip away. They can't really afford another one here tonight.
Yeah, this is definitely... We expected Hawaii to be pretty scrappy. And once again, we get to see a written foul on Yona this time. And you can right now hear the crowd just not liking that call at all.
No, they don't, but maybe it resets the plan. But Mackenbach off the inbound, no good, but tipped in by Kadane.
Excellent play there on Kadane as they are now up by 4. Once again, a 2-possession game. But there's still a lot of time on the clock as Tate hands it over to Doyle. Doyle goes it over to Yona. Yona trying to get a quick screen as he's able to shoot it up, and it's good.
Yeah, close game all around. Still, any margin of error is what Bangor wants right now because they have none at the moment.
Yeah, and Pura trying to roll it in, and it's good. So once again, they're trying their best to keep the lead as far as they can. They need to get a stop here, though, as Yona tries to get a screen from Scooty. Passes up to Tate. Tate going over to Barrett. Barrett, tough mid-ranger against Tia. And right now, Tia and Scooty has gone toe for toe. Right now, thinking Bakabak passing over to Quatch. Quatch dishing over to Gadane. And Gadane not able to get it down against Tate. Very tough shot there as JCK is trying to bring it up. Going for that step point. That mid-ranger, no good. As Tara got the board. Hands it over to Mockingbot.
Wide open 3.
Wide open 3, and it's good.
Ooh, that's just poor transitional defense.
Yeah, and they have hit the century mark as they're up by 7. Very costly shot there. And right now, as you can see, the Kahuna's crowd is quiet as Barrett, once again, going toe-to-toe with Tia. Who could have honestly drew a foul there, but decided yes. And Yona loses the ball against Wildfire. And Quatch laying it up and in for the fast break point. And just like that, Bangor is up by 9.
Yeah, that probably would have been a good idea from Scooney to get that 5th foul called, but did not go for it. But he will answer back at least here at the bucket. And 25 points here for him tonight. He has definitely been the main point getter for Hawaii, even though he struggled at moments against Tia. And, I mean, it's shown in terms of fouls. Tia is very close to getting in some trouble, but with 2.5 minutes left, 2 more fouls might be difficult tasks to get on her. So, you're Hawaii. What do you do now? Down by 7. You don't have possession.
Well, I think right now, it's pretty easy to try and see if they can, since there is still plenty of clock left to cut this deficit down a little bit. I will say to try and play hard defense. Don't have to go ahead for the turnover very quickly. But I will say that they need to get a stop here and possibly get a couple of quick 2-pointers to see if they can cut this deficit down just a little bit. And right now, Makapach pretty much took a stomp on all of that as they're bringing it back up to 9.
Yeah, I think at this point, I mean, JCK or Doyle might be someone they need to go to. Scooney has been getting it done, but not. He's not been automatic today, and that's the problem. And he does
As
miss that shot.
yeah, right now it just seems like the Hawaii is in deep trouble right now, as they could be on the brink of losing a opportunity of getting this of winning it all. As Wildfire trying to go with the top shot, but gets blocked there by Yona. Some good defense there.
Life
As
still
Yona
exists for Kahunas. They just need a quick basket here.
and Doyle's able to answer with that one as they're now down by 7.
And this is the stop. They need a stop here. If they stop it here, they can get it back to a two-possession game.
Yeah, right now Kadane has the rock going up against Tate. That's deep into the 3-point range. Wildfire now. If anyone can able to ice this, put the icing on the cake, it would be him. But instead, going over to Kadane. Kadane has it laid open, and it is good. And just like that, he might have cinched the championship for Bangor with that shot.
Yeah, we'll have to see. They're going to go back to Scooney on the quick fadeaway. It's no good, though, and Bangor not going for any more fast breaks. Everyone to the basket to collect the rebound. And honestly, if you're Hawaii, even at this point, fouling doesn't really make much sense either because you'll be down by 10, now 11, and under 50 seconds to go, or just at 50 seconds. I think it's fair to say that the nail has been placed in the coffin. Even a quick three here, I think, would be a surprising basket. Even that wouldn't be enough to really get this game back in. And Scooney's not willing to give up just yet, but
Yeah, it seems to me that right now it just looks like the game has been sealed for Bangor to be our 2019 champions. And what a way to end this off on the road in a very tough, hostile crowd here.
yeah, I mean, both teams played excellent on the road. Only one win in this series was done in front of a home crowd. So excellent showing from both of them, and great season as well for both of them. Um, both of them definitely great opportunity to have been champions this year, but we will see Bangor finish the series out in 6, 4-2. And we'll quickly look over the stats, as I said earlier, Scooney Barrett, if he had to play 48 minutes, he would. Played 38, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 12 for 13. Was doing pretty well field goal percentage-wise until those last couple just desperate heaves. Doyle, 10 points, 2 assists, 2 steals. Zach Tate, 14 points, 13 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 4 blocks, 6 for 7, 2 offensive rebounds. Not as active on the offensive end as probably needed to be, but Kadane was just keeping him far enough away from the basket to not let him get those rebounds. Vaston Hoot, 7 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. JCK, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Alphonse Norwich, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Good shooting from the Rat off the bench. Arguably the 6th fur of this series for Hawaii, even though Ronnie made a case for himself too in the first couple games. Sophia, 2 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Blanc, 6 points, 2 rebounds. And Juniper Hill, 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists as well. Pretty good shooting from the bench, even if Sophia did pull them down just a bit there. But overall, Bangor's bench showing up today, keeping them close while the starters rested. And then the last couple bench players for Hawaii. Sunderman, 4 points, 1 assist. Ronnie, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. And Kealoha, 0 for 1, 2 rebounds. And an offensive rebound was one of those 2. And then we're going to jump on over to your latest FBA champions. Break down how their game went. You can compare it to the first half, and I think the biggest player to keep an eye on will be Kadane. I think he definitely stole the show in this game. But Lance Wofford, not too shabby himself, 19 points, 50% from the floor. Like I said, probably his best game of the series, especially with 8 assists. Kadane, close to a 20 for 20, 22 points, 16 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. 3 offensive rebounds. Pura, 14 points, 7 assists. Not a bad night for her either. Picking it up in that second half. And even though she also shot a little bit below 60%, but the series as a whole was very good for the Zebra coming off the bench for the injured Leon Delmont. Looking at Mackenbach, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 60% from the field. Missed a bit of the threes, but hit that, honestly, very crucial one in transition. Tiatera, the terror from the deep, another 9-block game. 7 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Iverson, 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. And then Namkeki, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 1 block. Absolute defensive monster, Tiatera, these past 2 games, putting up block after block. Diego, 10 points, 3 for 5, but 3 for 3 from the free throw line to add to his total. 3 assists as well. And then hopping down to the rest of the bench, Katu, 3 points, 1 rebound, 1 for 5 from the floor. Elsinore, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 0 for 3. Gaston, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 for 6, with 3 offensive rebounds being every rebound he had, actually. That's where all his buckets mostly came from as well, for those nice putbacks. Like I said, Bangor's bench, I would say, was outperformed this game, but it was definitely a close affair in that regards. Both teams having a player or two stand out. And then Ortega, the last player for Bangor, 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. And we'll jump on over and compare how the game broke down for the two teams. And obviously, first quarter was tied, 33 apiece. Kind of a hint at what kind of offensive fest this was going to be. Big stat that stands out to me personally, Marcus, is Bangor was just so much more efficient. And then Hawaii struggles in that second quarter. May have been the difference maker here, honestly, is it kept them behind pretty much the whole game after that, even if they did pull back at times.
Yeah, I will have to agree with you on that. But it just seems like the Tides kind of overwhelmed them a lot of with their offensive prowess, especially within the paint, which is a little bit of a surprise considering that we've known the Tides being able to rely more on the perimeter shots. But I guess in this game, they really wanted to. There's a lot of both their front court plays, especially Tia Terra, really wanted to prove something when it comes to the front court play. While she didn't really do that much offensively, she really came down here on the defensive side.
That she did, and I mean we'll look at the full game statistics in just a moment, but I definitely think points in the paint were a big factor. Like I said, it was by 10 points they outscored them, and Bangor also had the 3-point advantage, kind of going both their ways. And I mean, yes, Hawaii definitely made it to the free throw line more often, and that helped keep them in it. But pretty much every stat went the way of Bangor at one time or another, and just Hawaii not able to really come back from that second quarter. It put them just far enough behind. I think that was the hill they just could not overcome for the first time, a deficit they could not make up here, as Bangor definitely ended the game with their largest lead at 11. But it wasn't. That was not the norm for them that whole game. It was a very close affair.
Yeah, Hawaii. It was really one of those things that Hawaii has been able to catch up throughout this entire game. No matter what the Tides have done to make a little bit of the run, Hawaii was able to bring it back. But it was just that final stretch, as you said. It's always the final stretch that's the most important that decides who's able to take it out here. But right now, Bangor was able to wrap this up on the road and not have to worry about flying once again back home for a game 7 to win everything out once again. But
Yeah, they will
all
fly
that,
back. They'll fly back as champions now instead of on the ropes. But as you were saying, it's Lance now taking his first championship. Had to watch Albany win without him, but managed to finally get that monkey off his back.
Yeah, and right now we get is we're possibly seeing a rising star in Tia Terra as she was able to just kind of play the lights out, especially late in the series in these past two games. We could be able to see a possible defensive player of the year in the making in a year or two.
Definitely, and I mean, she definitely came to light at the best point in terms of finals performance, and obviously they'll announce the finals MVP at some point, and she's definitely, I would say, in the running for it. I could argue Lance had two good games there. I could argue Kadane. I could argue Pura. I mean, honestly, any of the starters could make it. I don't feel like there was one player on the Bangor starting lineup that just ran away with this series.
Yeah, and even though that there was a little bit of a disappointment here on Luna's side, I will say that this has really been a very magical season for them in their own right, being able to have a very solid free agency, picking up Yona, and also being able to really kind of um, squeak by and take away the very deadly specific rim division, and actually able to take out Dakota out on the road as well to get to this point. And I mean, I think that when it comes to Kahuna, if you're a Kahuna's fan, you can't really, even though it is disappointing, you have to be really proud of your team going as far as they did.
And not just that, but I mean, looking at their team for next season, yes, they will have a lot of openings in terms of bench players, and they're only really losing starter wise, possibly Warren Doyle, but that free agency, a lot of those bench players will clear up a lot of cap space, and that cap space surely will be used to not only bring back Doyle, but also retool that bench. And I could see them next year, this time, back in the finals. They are very well built for another run. They have four great starters. I think they can continue to build this team up, and I would be shocked if we did not see them make a good run next season in the playoffs as well.
All right.
And I think that's all that we can have said tonight. Thank you, Marcus, for joining me on this journey.
Yeah, it's been a real blast. Can't wait to go ahead and go right back at it next year.
Yes, but for now, this is Ryan Eastman wrapping up the 2018-2019 FBA season. Thank you all fans for tuning in. You are the ones that make this game happen. And thank you once again, Market, for joining me tonight.
It's not a problem. And once again, thank you guys so much for the amazing year. We've had a lot of craziness going on for the Sports Den broadcast, but at the end, we every game has always been an adventure. It's always been fun. It's been insane, but we can't have it any other way.
Yep, and with that note, this is Ryan Eastman and Marcus Baylor signing off on the 2018-2019 season. See y'all next year.